everybody, Sean and Kelly here with Samson Properties, and today we're going to talk about everywhere we go, people want to know who we are, so we tell them we are the Realtors, the mighty, mighty Realtors. No, really, what are we talking about? I mean, sort of that.
So people are asking us, we've been getting questions, what does it take to be a realtor and what's it like to be a realtor? So we're going to dive into that.
Yes, we are.
Okay. Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah, and I think after my amazing introduction, I think we're going to let you lead us off into what does it take to be a realtor in the state of Virginia, because it's all state specific.
Yes, so in the state of Virginia, to get your real estate license, you have to take a 60-hour course. You can do that online or in person. Once you have completed that 60-hour course, you apply for your exam, get fingerprinted, get your background check done. You go and you take the national portion of the exam and the state-specific portion of the exam. Once you pass those, you find a broker and you hang your license with them, and you are now a realtor.
And after a certain amount of time, so that's your pre-licensing.
Yes.
And then you will have a post-licensing that you have to do. And then every, year?
Yeah.
Or 2 years? It's state specific, and we each have 3 different state licenses.
Yeah, so it gets all over the place.
But then you have CEUs, right? Continuing education, hours that you have to get, and tests that you have to take to maintain your license.
Yep. And a lot of that testing is on ethics, state-specific laws.
Fair housing.
Fair housing, a lot of fair housing, a lot of lending rules and regulations and real estate law.
And that's just to keep your license, right? I mean, individual brokerages and real estate associations, the local ones, they have a lot of different trainings and classes that are not mandatory, but if we're going to be doing a great job, we really attend all of those too. So there's a whole lot of school training that's ongoing.
That's a very good point. So
I have them.
You have them all the time. So, and I told Kelly I wanted to mention this specifically. So when I when I graduated from chiropractic school,
I wasn't listening. I think I led you here all by myself.
Okay, good. Well, I got something to say.
Say it, baby.
When I graduated from chiropractic school, it was an 8-year curriculum. I had to get my bachelor's degree, then go through 4 years of training, internship, labs, and all these different things. And when I graduated, our instructors always really drilled it into us that graduating and getting your license as a chiropractic physician lets you begin to learn how to be a chiropractor.
I thought that was the dumbest thing.
I did too.
When we were launching, I'm like, no, now
we're
like,
ready to go.
It's going to be real,
And after 15 years in practice, that was very true. You learn techniques, you deep dive into them, you learn nutrition, you learn all these different things, but you have to do that on your own. Yeah. So that was after 8 years of education. Yeah. I have never seen a profession that applies to more than a real estate license.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Once you get that 60-hour class completed and you get your license, that class teaches you nothing about
because you walk out and you're like,
I'm
licensed, but I have no idea what to do.
I've never seen a contract. What is an addendum and what does that mean?
Yeah, what do you mean legal description? I can give you a legal description all day,
but
I don't know how to write an escalation
yes.
thing. What is this?
So it is really important to understand that experience in real estate is critical because we learn on every transaction, and we're up over 80 transactions now, just recent transactions. So every transaction is a new challenge, and so if you're making a choice of an agent based on the fact that, hey, my niece just got their license, I really want to help support them, that's great, but make sure they have a mentor that's walking alongside them, because there are going to be things that come up that if they don't know how this works, it could be very costly.
And I mean, if they're your friend or family, they want to protect you too, so they would probably really want to hook up with someone and for the help, because they don't want to lead you astray either. Yeah. But I remember just a year or 2 into having our licenses, I can remember asking an amazing agent, local agent. She's been doing it forever. Like, I think she sold Jesus his house. And I'm like, so when do we know it? When do you feel like I've got this? Whoever comes my way, like, I got all the answers. Yeah. She said never. Yeah. Ever. She said every single transaction she learns something new and something catches her off guard. And that is when it's about having really amazing relationships within the real estate community. That's with other realtors, that's with lenders and title attorneys and inspector, everyone, and you know who to call, and that's the key.
There are so many nuances. That is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
that's where experience matters,
it does,
right?
It does.
You've had time to build those connections and those relationships, so that you cannot have every answer that could come up.
That's a really good point. So we're constantly you're
full of something.
We're constantly building out systems. Like we'll come through and we'll see we'll have an experience in a transaction, and like, okay, that came out of nowhere, so now we have to add something new in, so that never catches us off guard. And then there will be something. Every time you think you get ahead, there's always some little nuance. And it may come from title one time, it may come from lending, it may come from just some detail in the contract. It may come from one of the clients. Just all of a sudden they think something up and they're like, hey, I just feel
that one deal came from a freaking hole in the ground. You remember that? It can come from anywhere.
So anyway.
I kid you not.
Which one are you talking about?
Remember that septic issue?
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. So there's all kinds of good stuff that can happen. So anyway, experience does matter. So let's dive into this. So we got some questions about what is it like to be in real estate and so on.
Yeah, and I think that these questions picked up a lot, like in the pandemic, when people were kind of rethinking, hey, a job change and all that, and real estate was a really hot topic right now. So I'm going to scroll through some of these. Okay, here's one. Is it required to go to your office every single day? Okay, and that was huge, right? That was a big one because people were working from home, but then in real estate, you're not at home a lot. So what do we, and some brokerages, they don't even have offices. So answer that for us.
So no, it is not required to go to your office. Now, some agents, if you're a social agent, you're somebody who likes to interact with people and you feed off of the energy, then you may want to go to a brokerage that does have an office, and you may, be energized by going in and visiting with people. It's great for camaraderie. It's great for bouncing ideas off of each other, but it can also be a negative because you're probably in there with other social agents, and you get there and next thing you know, you spent 4 hours and have done nothing. So that could be a challenge.
Yeah, and I'll say, working with the brokerage where we worked from home, they didn't have the offices. I'm like, this is great. This is fantastic. But the more we've done it, the more I'm excited that now we're going to have a Tyson's office.
Yes, yes, that's going to be great.
But the idea of going in there and being around people and being able to just say, oh my gosh, this just happened to me, and have those people say, that happened to me, here's how we can help, and us being able to do that too. I'm really, really excited about that. But because I'm not a social person, it's going to be very easy for me to go into the office, close the door, and get the work done.
That's right.
I'm not going to be tempted to stay out and socialize.
That's exactly right. So no, it is not required. I think it's more agent specific. And some brokerages do offer offices, and the agents never go into the office even though they have that option.
That's true.
Okay. What's next?
Okay. Is it necessary for new real estate agents to join teams?
This is a mixed
I have so many feelings about this.
So let's go with your feelings first. I have a very clear feeling on it.
I know you do.
Yep.
If my answer would be, I am on a team. I need to be on a team. I'm a team player because there are so many things that I cannot do that a successful real estate agent must do. But you're my team.
Right.
If I didn't have you as team lead, I would definitely be on another team because I would be support, right? I'm great at managing the structure of the deal, at compliance and the liaisoning and the contracts and making sure everybody's doing what they need to do at all the right times, but I'm really, really crap at everything you do.
Yep. No, just kidding. And I'm crap at what you do, so it's the same thing. But I have a question.
Yeah.
Is liaisoning a word?
Maybe not. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Sure. What?
She always,
I think it's liaison.
Yeah.
Liaisoning?
Liaisoning. Okay. I'm going to go liaison.
Whatever, you're not going to cut that out either, are you?
I'm not.
That's so wrong.
So you're absolutely right. There are lots of strengths and weaknesses. And there's so, like, as an agent, if you're a single agent, you have to do everything from your own marketing, your own prospecting, your own social media, your own contract to close management. Everything has to be done by you. And in coming out with your real estate license, unless you're getting trained and all that, you have no clue how to do it.
That's right.
So your brokerage can help you with it, but go ahead.
Well, I wanted to say because this is going to go into another one of our questions. What is the biggest thing that you need to be able to do as a realtor? So I'm going to add that to this, and that's what he does.
Yeah.
Lead generation. You have to be able to generate the leads and and like pound the pavement, make the calls, just get the work. So you talk about that, and then I'm going to talk about.
So the most important thing you have to do is you have to work. It is not an easy job. I hear there's a show on TV called Selling Sunset that inspires a lot of people to go into real estate. And I've never watched the show, but my understanding is it makes it look like it's just this glamorous thing. You go look at all these fantastic houses and you write all these deals and you make all this money and you drive all these cars. And it is not like this. This is our third business we've run together. This is by far the hardest business that we have ever run, because number one, everybody knows 3 realtors. So you have huge competition. Number 2, so you really have to know what you're doing to stand out. And number 2, you have to be able to go out there and generate the business. And most realtors don't come in realizing that it is a constant grind of finding your clients. So if you're not willing to do that, if all you want to do is go show a house, then you need to join a team. Because those teams spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a month on marketing to generate these prospects for you to be able to go and show these properties. And so that would be a situation where you would want to do that.
So we've, as you probably know by now, have really great relationships with other realtors, and some of them lead big teams, and they've all said, no, wait, like Sean would never work on a team because he's his own engine, right? He's like a lead generating engine. I'm more the grunt. So I do the graphics work and all the stuff that really, if he were going to be a single agent, you would hire out. But here's the key. So let's say he didn't lead a team of his own. He was just a single agent and didn't have me. He would have to hire out the transaction coordinator to do contracts and contract to close. He would have to hire out graphics design, hire out marketing, and hire out all this. And not only is he hiring all that out, but he's managing them and making sure everybody stays on point at all times. Or he's hiring a personal assistant to do all that, right? So basically, I fill all these little tiny grunt boxes.
And you know what? And the beautiful thing for the grunt here is that while she's doing all of that, she also keeps me on track, because I tend to go into different directions.
That's true. That's true. I do keep you on track. But he's down there making the uncomfortable phone calls, the ones that if someone hung up on me or gave me a bad tone of voice, I would go crawl into a cave and cry for a little bit and be like, but don't they understand I have to work? I mean, I can't handle it. So that's... And my opinion is, if you're a new agent, especially if you have never run a business. Now, the reason that we didn't join a team in the beginning is because we had run 2 businesses. We had built systems. We knew how to sell. And we knew how to work together.
We knew how to work together, and we knew what it took.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of physicians that I graduated from chiropractic school with that went into their own practice, and they would set up their office hours, and they would just go in when they had patients. They would not be there. We knew from the beginning that it's like, if we're there 8 to 6, we're there 8 to 6, and we're working.
I grind and you pound it, man. I mean, and we've always done that with every business.
So you just have to have that. You have to have that. And if you don't have that in yourself, if you come in with an employee mindset where you've got a boss that's kind of telling you what to do. The best thing,
minimum.
The best thing about real estate is that you're your own boss. The worst thing about real estate is you're your own boss, because it's so easy to just take a day off.
But I'm really bossy, so that works.
And I'm really addicted to work, so we work out.
Yeah, that's great. I love this is great. The other thing, so you said this was the most difficult business we've ever had. So we've had a chiropractic office for 15 years. We've had a product development. So that being said, this is my very favorite thing in the whole wide world. I was in a form of real estate when we met when I was 19. And I loved it then. So I love the people, I love the agents, I love the other professionals, the lenders and the title attorneys, the buyers, the sellers. Like, I love these people. So I really, really love this job.
Yeah, it's great. It's been the most profitable business we've had. And it's been, now that's the thing too with profit. So we got to cut this short a little bit, because we have to get with Tatiana in a second. But the only negative to joining a team as a new agent is you're giving up a lot of your income, but you need to look at how much you actually take home versus what you're giving up, because when you start out by yourself, if you don't have these qualities, you're not going to have any money anyway.
And understand that a lot of people are going to poo-poo your whole profession and act like they don't need you and think that they can do it all themselves. It's not like I need someone who knows how to, I don't know, change out my toilet or something. They know they can't usually
or adjust your spine.
Or adjust your spine or like give you an injection of something. Realtors, they think they can do it, so that's a hard thing for some people. Okay, this is the last question before we get to Tatiana.
Okay.
How long do I have to stay at a brokerage?
It's a good question.
And there were some like, do I have to have a brokerage? So start there. Yes, you do have to have, hang your license is what it's called. So you get your real estate license and you have to hang your license with a broker. And it's basically the house, it's the big boss daddy, right?
Yep, that's who you represent. So all of your agreements, everything is done as a representation of that broker, which we went into in our representation.
Do you have to interview? Has been some, a lot of times as a new agent, you need to interview with brokerages. Once you've been an agent and have established yourself, any agent or broker can go on and look and see like how well you're doing online on the multiple listing service, and they can see that. So you get to where you don't have to interview anymore.
And some brokerages specialize with beginning agents, so they have a lot of training that's geared to get you that way, get you up and running. Some brokerages don't have that program. They're looking for agents that have been more experienced, and they want more of the less of the training aspect.
At least have a mix of it. I think a mix is really, really good. I don't think there's a minimum time you have to stick with a brokerage, but you never ever want to burn any bridges. Things change with brokerages just like they do with any kind of place of employment. The dynamics change, the managers can change, managing brokers can change. So you always want to just keep everything. I mean, I'm big on relationships, and we are just keeping everything really positive and never burning bridges, and just find the place that works for you and your personality and where you are at the stage of your real estate career, because what is good for you in the beginning, that changes over time. And as you get more experience, then you can move on to a different situation.
So if anybody's like thinking about coming into real estate, or they have questions about what this looks like and their specific situation, we've worked in mentor programs, we've helped new agents, and we're happy to just answer those questions. No strings attached. There's no attachment to coming and working with us. But
and I love it. And I will answer your question so honestly, because I wasn't born. Apparently, I wasn't born with that filter thing that filters out all the bull crap. So I'll just tell you how it is.
All right, so if you have any questions about what it takes to be an agent, let us know. Maybe we'll do a couple more of these, like diving into a little bit of the specifics of the actual running of the business. But right now, that's what it takes to become an agent. That's what the beginning of it looks like. And
so don't be a criminal where your background check will come back shady. Don't be a high school dropout, or at least get your GED. It's okay if you're a beauty school dropout.
And age does not matter. There are 18-year-old agents that do phenomenally well, and there are really old agents that still do well.
We can do it forever. You're going to see us for so long.
All right, let's get on to the market report so we can get on to Tatiana. All right.